Hello and welcome to Edwards to a Degree. This is a podcast made by Edwards Degree Apprentices. I'm joined here today with 4 other apprentices. I'm Sam and I'm an electrical engineer.
Hi,
Joe?
I'm Joe. I'm an electrical engineer.
I'm Jasmine. I'm also an electrical engineer.
I'm Charlie. I'm a software engineer.
And I'm Zach, and I'm a manufacturing engineer.
Today we're going to be speaking about things such as the application process to Edwards, how to get involved with Edwards, what we do day by day. We're also going to be speaking about our sort of journey towards getting an apprenticeship. So what our thinking was really coming through A-levels and other paths of life.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about like the application process of what it's like to apply to apprentices. So like I personally applied through findapprenticeship.gov. I don't know about any of you guys if you used any other kind of platforms to apply.
I think I used that. I
Yeah.
used the government one as well. I think that's.
I was sent a link by someone during my work experience.
Really?
Oh,
I literally just followed the link directly to the Edwards
Yeah.
website.
yeah,
I
I
actually
know.
saw the company up on a presentation at a university.
Oh.
That's how I knew about them originally.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I originally did work experience with at Burgess Hill with a family friend. That's how I got to know it.
Nice. I think Charlie, I think you did work experience at Burgess Hill as well, didn't you? At some point.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 years ago now, 2018.
Oh, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Wow.
That's pretty interesting that like Edwards has got out like that, because I worked there originally as a line operator, so it kind of just came to me. I was lucky; it didn't have to search.
I've never heard of the company, to be honest.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
A podcast that advertised it for me.
Perfect.
So after kind of applying online, you get through like a bunch of online tests. I think it's like maths and English, just kind of competency tests so that they know that that you've got like base level GCSE English and maths. And then after that, if you pass those tests, you get invited to an assessment centre, which is basically just like a day of a few different activities. Like Sam said, we won't go into it that much because there's going to be something released during National Apprenticeship Week. But yeah, how did you guys find the apprenticeship centres? Like, what was your impressions of
The
it?
assessment centres, yeah. It was I think meeting the people was the best thing, because there was lots of people there. I was competing with about 20 other people, and it was lots of people wanted to chat. They wanted to impress people,
Yeah.
impress the employers. So yeah, meeting the people was nice.
Nice.
It was tough, to be honest. I messed up a few of the activities, but I think that kind of proves that it's not ability that they're searching for solely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely remember during my assessment centre time, I was really nervous about all the tasks that had been given to us. I remember I didn't perform particularly well in any single one of the tasks. So where I actually managed to get through to the second round of interview is still something that would be interesting for me to find out. But yeah, I think the assessment centre was definitely something I never expected.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's exactly the same with me. I was like, as I was driving home, the 3.5 hour drive, I was just like, that was just not good. I will not be here again.
Definitely
it's
feels
tough.
like a long drive back.
I think that just goes to prove as well that people aren't necessarily looking, like you're saying, like for technical ability. I think obviously that plays a part, but I think it's more important that you give off your personality and like your experience and stuff like that. Like is not maybe more important, but just equally as important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so the second stage of interviews then, after we did, or luckily get it by the sounds of it, that was a presentation that we had to do, and that was very, very stressful as well. But I think if you can do a presentation in front of some of the kind of top dogs at Edwards, I think it just shows that, you can hold yourself in the company, and
Yeah.
I think that's the sort of thing that you have to go for.
I think that was a scary bit, wasn't it? Like they would
Most
hire
nerve-wracking.
people
Yeah.
in the company, so that was,
An
that was
audience.
a scary bit. Yeah.
I was fairly lucky in the fact that I got to do mine online. after the
Oh
whole
right,
COVID.
nice.
Yeah. So I didn't really have the whole standing in front of everyone
Well,
experience, but it was
Different
still
kind of
very
stress
nerve-wracking.
though. You sat by
Yeah,
yourself in a room and you just speaking to yourself. It's like
Yeah. Worrying about
suppose-
I don't
siblings
think-
walking in and everything.
yeah.
I don't think anyone made as big a mistake as when John Crocker walked in and I said, "Oh, it's James, isn't it?" I got his name wrong. 5 people in the room must be named John. Like, it's the most common name on our site. And I called the one guy James. I don't know what I did, but
It's alright, you got the job.
Nerves.
I got the
It is, but-
I'm actually interested to ask Zach because your assessment centre was actually online. So how did that work?
I'm not sure they did it, to be honest. I think mine was more of a sort of an exam based thing.
Ah.
So it was more like engineering questions rather than how you do something
Fair enough.
in a group sort of
I
situation.
imagine they probably asked more people to come to a second interview from the first one because you can't really judge someone from an exam, can you? But
Yeah,
Not realistically, no.
yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say like because I was able to stand up, I was able to like kind of show how excited I was about it all. I can imagine it being hard behind a camera,
Yeah.
actually trying to express
Yeah.
that kind of I want the job kind of thing. Yeah.
I think in the interview they may have. I think they asked a few more questions. I mean, I don't know what your questions were like, but I had quite a few sort of experience-based questions rather than knowledge. If you know what I mean.
cool.
I don't remember that much, to be honest. Like of the interview, like it didn't feel like an interview. It felt like it was more based around the presentation for me. Like I just presented the presentation, and then they asked questions about the presentation, and I don't really remember them asking.
I remember the thing with the actual interview was that you had to say something that you had done. You couldn't say what you would do. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was
Yeah.
different
That's
for you
quite
guys because they might have changed it after the first year of interviews. But if I started a sentence by saying, "Well, I would do this," Andy Marsh would stop me there and say, "Have you done this?" And I'd be like, "Start again." But
Yeah.
that's where they're looking for honesty as well. If you can
okay.
just,
Yeah.
well, no, I haven't, but I've shown it in this way or whatever. You can, I think that's what they're looking for. Right. Anyway, let's move on from interviews.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a video once again at Nor. Find that.
I think we should link it at the end.
We should
We
link it.
find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The next topic is our thinking towards an apprenticeship. So this is a good one. There's a lot of variation here. So it's like I was sort of always set on going to university, but people around me had been saying, consider other options. My teachers and my family, mainly my family were pushing for me to do an apprenticeship, but I was going to be the first one in my family to go to university. So I thought I'd do both at once, and I made sure to apply for different paths, obviously, and I applied for more than one apprenticeship. Sorry, Edwards, but I went to a couple of interviews. I did a couple of online exams, and Edwards, the atmosphere just jumped out at me, to be honest, from the interviews. So that was my reasoning behind it. Does anyone have any different paths?
See, personally, my family initially, when I told them, I think were quite apprehensive about an apprenticeship because my dad works in construction. His perception of an apprenticeship is still a lot of mickey taking, pranks, a lot of them.
Yeah,
bullying, a lot of that stigma that's stuck around. Getting a long way in that. Of course, like when you factor in the money, the degree, not having any debt, and also that experience. Obviously, I know we all talk about it till we're long in the tooth, but I think that really sort of swiveled everyone's heads when it came round to like thinking about whether or not there's a sensible thing for me to do, and that's what definitely convinced me.
Yeah, and Joe, you were working as an operator.
Yeah. So I was working here already on one of the lines. I was building, making stuff.
Yeah.
And then I mean, yeah, I kind of got into a point in my life where I'd pretty much given up on higher education, because I did actually start university at a younger age and dropped out.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about doing open university or something, but it just never really came up. And then, this suddenly appeared here at Edwards, and I was like, you know what, I've got to go for it. It's like my last chance kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just worked. Yeah, it worked out really well.
It's working out to this day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
Still going strong.
I think the thing is, it will take you a lot further when it's like, even though you may have took a bit of a pay cut, or the experience in whatever else could have been better, but I think this apprenticeship will take you a lot further than where you could have been, and that's
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, just the feeling of pride in myself as well, of what I can do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I always felt like I had potential when I was younger and stuff, and then this has given me the opportunity to actually unlock it again, which
that's so true. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I'd be interested to see, like, if you went back in time and finished uni the first time,
wow.
would you have ended up like better now or then?
I would have rather have done an apprenticeship though.
Yeah.
Because I did a degree.
Yeah.
And it's so much better working at the place at the same time. There's times where I'm more interested in work than uni, and then uni than work, and it's great.
Good balance, yeah.
Jasmine, were you always sat on apprenticeship?
Sort of. I think kind of when I was younger, everyone thinks they're going to go to uni, and then when I was maybe like 16, 17, I thought I had, don't really want to go to uni. And then my dad suggested to me, apprenticeships are like a really good option. He works in the council, and they hire a lot of apprentices, and he just kind of explained to me, this seems like a good route to go. Researched lots of different places. Funnily enough, Edwards was kind of like, when I applied, I wasn't really looking at what I was applying to, which is not a good thing to do, because you're not burning yourself out. I was just kind of applying to as much as possible. And then when I got an interview, or not interview, the assessment centre for Edwards, I was kind of surprised, because I thought, I don't really know Edwards. But yeah, luckily I followed through. Yeah.
My experience with it was I was dead set on it ever since year 10. I really wanted to get an apprenticeship, but my problem was the variety of what there was quite limited with where I live.
Right.
So I had like Rolls-Royce and everyone else like that out there. So I just applied to who I sort of specifically wanted to be with. But those fell through. I did the interviews and I didn't get the job. But after that I just decided to do a straight degree. But then Sam messaged me about the opportunity at Edwards, and I looked at that and I just thought that the perfect opportunity. So I tried my hardest with the interviews and sort of practiced my presentation and everything like that, and then luckily that came through, and then here I am now.
Nice.
That's reminded me, actually, thank you, that it's not only for degree apprenticeships either. It doesn't have to be coming out of A levels. It's becoming broader and broader now what you can do an apprenticeship in. It's always been engineering and construction, but it's getting wider and wider. So make sure you're always checking. It's like there will always be something more now. They're moving into accountancy and
and even if
healthcare and
everything. Like, even if you're hell-bent on doing a degree apprenticeship, you can kind of work your way in. Like, even if you start at a level 2, level 3, level 4, if you prove that you can do that you have what it takes, then they'll at least at a company like Edwards, they'll be happy to put you on a degree apprenticeship after you've finished whatever you do first. And
that's the thing as well, at Edwards especially, I feel like it's really, really flexible. They work with us, don't they? It's like we can say what's troubling us or whatever, and it will be fixed straight away. That's a good thing at Edwards. Another question I had for you guys that I don't actually know is, when jobs are offered for graduates and they say they want like 5 years experience, which is obviously ridiculous. So these count as years of experience, don't they? So
I'm fairly certain.
Full on. They count.
So
put in with context, of course. I expect. I'm sure they. Explaining that it's part of the apprenticeship, and if anything, you could argue it's more beneficial, because in addition to the degree, you're getting a lot of one-to-one time with senior engineers that have been in the industry so long. I have to say, it's definitely helped me learn a lot more about it.
Definitely, yeah. There's even things that I've done at uni that I've been taught the theory behind, and I'm like, I'm not too sure about that. But then I'll get and I can see it in practice, and it just clicks.
It does, it helps so much for that.
Yeah. And it's interesting, actually. I was thinking about this the other day because I know that Chichester, which is the uni that we're at, they advertise their kind of degree apprentice or their degrees for apprentices to be like, they're meant to be more practical than like a normal degree. But to be honest, compared to what we have at work, it's like nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe that's for a degree standard, maybe that's a lot of practical. But compared to being at work, 4 days a week, that's it just doesn't compare at all. Yeah,
it's like the lab that the guys that were on our course that they were doing, who aren't apprentices, they were like reverse engineering a kettle, and it's like they do that once a week, and they. It's like the experience that we get at work is definitely like 100-fold.
Wow.
I feel like I learn a lot more doing sort of working at work with with everyone around you sort of thing than you would in a lecture. I mean, lectures have to be there, but you will learn a lot easier, I feel.
Definitely. And like on top of that, like reverse engineering a kettle. Like, what is that going to do?
The practical.
It's just the practicals that they do. It sort of aids the theory, but here at Edwards, it's like doing things that help make money or help better. Things you can do at home, or
And they always go towards an end goal as well. So you always got sort of enthusiasm towards completing your tasks and everything.
Yeah, rather than it just being for the sake of your own education, it's actually for the company.
Yeah.
People rely on you as well.
Yeah, which is a little bit scary sometimes.
It's definitely a good thing. It definitely makes me do it. Like, I'm probably not the most motivated person in the world, but when someone's relying on me to do it, I'll, pull through. Charlie?
And I was just going to say, I can't speak for like you as electrical and mechanical engineers, but I know with like software, there's so many concepts that try to get crammed into the 2 years of like A levels that were barely even scratched on and hardly ever even practically applied. I think in the first 6 months, I really sort of managed to get my head around a lot of concepts that I was aware of but never actually like understood. I'm sure it's got to be the same with you guys.
Well, Jasmine, you have a similar story, don't you, with C# coding? You've done like very little.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I did a engineering BTEC before I came here, and so it's kind of a lot of the stuff that we do at uni and that I do at work, we kind of touched upon, but it's the same thing of like I was just doing it, to get my BTEC, but now it's like, oh, I understand fully what I'm doing now instead of just doing it because I have to.
Yeah, I found that.
Carry on, sir.
No, I was just saying I found that I did a BTEC as well. So doing sort of the practicals and everything that you do in college, it puts it all into practice and then sets it sort of in stone when you go to do the apprenticeship and working and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like learning a language, isn't it? When you go to a different country.
Exactly.
When you're surrounded by it, you're immersed in it. You just learn it so much quicker, and I think that's one of the best things.
Subconscious.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make us Edwardians?
Yes.
You've been grinning for ages. You had that for ages, haven't you? You've been holding on that.
I love that.
I know when to cash it.
Cash in.
Oh my god, that should be like the tagline for the podcast, like become an Edwardian.
Become an Edwardian. We're just gonna have to end every topic on #Edwardians.
That's the new normal.
Yeah.
We're all gonna go around in corsets and lace.
But no, I think it's another thing. Is it's kind of like who you know. What is it? It's who you know, not what you know, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of the people I know here. Oh, I know. I technically know because I can go to that guy and be like, "Oh, what is this?" And they'll be like, "This," and I'll be like, "Ha, I know."
Through that lot of years of experience across the country.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like, after my induction couple of weeks on the shop floor, especially, it's like you can literally go to anyone in any zone and and ask them like, what is this? Help me.
People that specialize, you can go to someone that knows exactly what you're talking about instead of just going to a general teacher that just thinks they know, sort of thing.
Yeah.
The next point is like getting the apprenticeship. How did we feel? That's a bit of a crap point, actually. just forget that.
I felt brilliant.
Yeah, we're all just gonna be like, it was good.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I was pretty. I mean, to be fair, I was pretty determined to crack on and smash this stuff.
Yeah,
as soon as
that's
I
true.
could.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I actually have the opposite. Oh, go on, Sam. Sorry.
No, don't worry. Go.
Really? What, were you scared? Were you like?
No,
were you
I had the opposite. Oh wait, are you talking to me or Sam?
But you.
Oh no, I wasn't scared, but like I had my eye on other companies that were a lot bigger. Like
I see.
was like they do stuff in London. Like they built the Shard. They're looking at building like is it the high speed 1 or the high speed 2 trains and stuff.
Oh right.
And I sort of was almost on the interview stage for that. So I had my eye on Edwards and that, and sort of like like I accidentally left my presentation for the night before. Like it was literally like 11 p.m. and I was about to go to bed, and then I was like, wait, I think there's something I need for tomorrow. And then realized there was a whole presentation that I needed to do. So I ended up, like doing it that night. But to be fair, it was fresh in my mind. Although I wouldn't recommend that.
The one benefit.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it was kind of, it was
just always meant to be.
Yeah.
Edwards was.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was actually like a toss-up, because like I had to either accept Edwards or deny Edwards and then go for the interview at WSP, which I wasn't guaranteed.
That was the same as me.
Take the risk, yeah.
I got offered an interview at a helicopter company, like
nice.
mechanical engineering on helicopters. But I'd already like signed all my contracts and everything, so it's just like.
Damn it, yeah.
There is benefits to work. Sorry, I don't mean to sidetrack, but like Jasmine was saying, it was a toss-up between this and a bigger company. I don't think I'd ever trade this for a bigger company. I think this is a real sweet spot.
Okay, so now we're going to be speaking about what we do day to day. Well, this should be a bit of a longer section because we have someone in each area. So, Charlie, what are you working on at the minute?
So at the moment, I'm doing API testing. It's part of the quality assurance we do for software. So just like any physical thing you'd expect to leave a company, has to be ensured it's properly verified and rigid and not going to collapse. We have to do the same thing with the way that we interrogate the software on our pumps, and I just make sure that the data that comes in and comes out is the data we expect to see. Doesn't sound like all that exciting on face value, but there's a lot more to it than just looking at data. There's a lot of automation behind that. And if you're interested in algorithms and looking at data and how to validate it, I've sort of lost my train of thought there, but I have a lot of fun doing it. You know what? It's left me speechless. It's just too good to summarize. I really enjoy my work, and I'm working with some really smart people. So that's what I come into work for, is to learn off of the people that are here, and take the advice they can give. It's great being able to stay hungry.
You're also working from home at the minute, aren't you? Which is actually a very good thing at Edwards.
Yeah. Saves me a lot of money on petrol. Don't have to come in anymore. So that's awesome.
And it just proves that the communication is so good between the management and the worker.
And also trusting.
And trusting, exactly, yeah. So,
yeah, exactly. Not even a regular full-time employee, and I get treated like the rest of everyone else in the company as if I was
definitely, yeah.
apprentice.
Yeah, that's big. That's important. Yeah.
I don't think it will ever be the same after all of this. I think there'll be a lot more working from home anyway.
Yeah, I mean, software might as well, I guess.
Software, definitely. It just, like, there hasn't been much of a dip, has there really?
But I miss Charlie.
Yeah, I know. I was
I need to see Charlie's face.
I've never been in the
I reckon
office,
you
but
guys-
Charlie's been in the office. So
I know. You're missing out, Sam. Trust.
I've not even been upstairs.
Joe, what are you working on at the minute?
So I am day to day I support the test equipment that we use to test our units. That's been great. I've been learning all about how they're all made, how they work together and stuff. And then I've been also building my own to update one of the old test equipments. So yeah.
That's fun. That test engineering is kind of a mix between Zach's area and Charlie's area, isn't it? It's a lot of software, but it's a lot of hands-on. That's a perfect thing about Edwards as well. You can kind of, after your rotations, you can choose where you go, and there's a place for everybody, basically. Very hands-on or very software or anywhere in between. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're banging.
Yeah, I think they saw that in me and they thought that they'd do that as well. Yeah, they picked it there.
Jasmine, what are you working on?
I have a question for you, actually. From your experience in tech support and from your experience in test, which do you think, if you had to choose right now, which do you think you would choose?
Well, the thing is, I'm not really doing tech support right now, am I?
I know.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking that, which
is
is
just supporting test more.
Let me just explain what I'm doing. So, tech support at the minute, we've got a big project on, and I'm basically making 20 heatsink modules. So I'm doing a lot of pillar drilling, a lot of tapping, just a lot of hands-on manual work, which isn't really what the department is about. Should be a lot more electrical, but I enjoy the hands-on stuff. So, like at the minute, I'm enjoying tech support, but I haven't really got a proper taste for it. Test engineering. I had my own project in test engineering, and I had to follow it through from the start all the way to the very end. I didn't have much guidance on that because coronavirus kind of intervened. But test engineering was really good for making me meet people because I had to go and ask for help in lots of different departments, and that was really good. So meeting people and the people in tests. Legends. So
yes, that's right.
I haven't really answered the question. Test engineering at the minute.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, Jasmine.
My question to you, Charlie. When you come in?
Yeah, Charlie. When are you coming over to electrical?
No. You're a great software engineer, bro.
When it all.
Dude, I'm thinking about going to software like later on.
You'll have to swap.
You do a switch, yeah.
Yeah, man.
You all know Charlie loves test.
I love a good test. I even said test engineer is my favourite rotation, I've got to say.
Yeah.
It definitely was. Sorry, Jasmine.
It's all right. I'll just be by myself.
Get the love.
So, Jasmine, what are you doing day by day?
So I work in tech support, which is basically like supporting products that are already out. So like there's different some of the electrical engineering is like design of new products, but some of it, like test and like technical support, is more about what we've already designed and what's already going out to customers. Yeah. So a lot of what I do is kind of like investigation of either kind of improving products that we have or fixing things that have gone wrong. So it's a lot of kind of temperature testing, EMC testing, which is electromagnetic capability, like vibration testing. But I enjoy it a lot because, like you're saying, like in test, it's very much like you kind of have to go and ask different people for different, for help on different bits and that, and I enjoy that a lot. But at the same time, you also you're left to do your own work a lot of the time, which is quite nice because even though we're apprentices, like we're sort of just left to do our bits, and instead of having someone over our shoulder all the time, which I don't think I'd enjoy very much.
But there's always someone there to ask. It's like
exactly.
Yeah.
I can choose when I just go and whack my earphones in and just get on with the work that's in front of me, and that sometimes you just feel like doing that, don't you? And it's just it's very flexible once again, basically. Yeah. Zach? Sorry, carry on, Joe.
I'm just wondering, in tech support, is it very deadlined, or is it like you can go investigate?
Wow.
I'm a bit of an exception because I'm an apprentice. They don't have me working on deadline work really.
Oh, great.
Have
So you
to-
could just investigate.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that sounds
So
great. Yeah.
I know it's the
Project
opposite
that we're
to
working
you.
The
Go on,
project that we're working on is very, very deadlined.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, is it? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally the
Quite an
other
important project at the minute, but yeah, a lot of the time, like in test engineering, I didn't have many deadlines, but you know, you kind of set them for yourselves, don't you? And you just kind of work towards.
Yeah, at the apprentice level, it's still kind of,
Yeah.
they kind of
to
give you
best
the
of
topic,
it.
don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to say, my manager's been really understanding when I've had to learn something new. I've got very little practical experience professionally developing code or programs or anything. You know, before I was doing tests and actually developing full programs, you know, they're always willing to give me everything I need. And, you know, like before even having to ask for it, they were like, oh yeah, take this subscription to this, you know, like learning service or something.
Yeah.
It's really, really handy to have like that support before you have to even ask for it, which is great. And when it comes to deadlines too.
Yeah. And I think even at the very top of the company, it's the same. When me and Zach and Ben started, Andy Marsh was chatting to us quite a bit, and he just seemed excited to have us. And it's nice to feel that we're an actual valid part of Edward's vacuum, you know? Yeah. So yeah, that was nice.
Well, we're taking
It's
over,
still
aren't
very
we?
genuine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like it's funny. It's quite funny. Like Neil said to me, it was like, you're taking over now, aren't you? Like you're gonna get a whole new knot next year.
Yeah.
And like we're gonna be like the new Edwards generation, aren't we? So it's quite funny.
I think you meant new Edwardians, Joe.
Yes, that's it. Sorry, man.
It's kind of why they're pushing apprenticeships quite a lot, is to get the sort of future generation into the company, to push it into the next sort of era almost.
Yeah,
definitely. I think Edwards is kind of, you know, I love Edwards, but it is kind of guilty of having these kind of old ways of doing things that are very kind of roundabout, you know, and it doesn't affect people that much because you kind of just learn it as you go. But yeah, 100%. I think it kind of needs a bit of a shake up in some areas, and I think that's why they're trying to get us in.
Yeah, and there's never been anyone to shake it up. So
exactly.
No.
Said
Let's go.
Okay, Zach, what do you do day by day?
So my general task at the moment is to sort of future-proof what's currently on shop floor. So what I'm currently doing is updating all the instruction manuals to make them so that anyone else who wants to become in as an operator is instantly able to make any product that's on the shop floor. And alongside that, I sort of join in on projects such as sort of updating different zones and making them more efficient and sort of easier, and obviously turning out sort of more products and making more of a sort of impact on it. Realistically,
I know that there was talks of getting the you're on about SOPs, aren't you? Which is like a manual to build something. There was talks of getting it onto iPads, weren't there?
Yeah, I think that's partly why they're trying to get us to do complete all of these SOPs so that they can then in future just scan a barcode and then it will come up on a screen with everything that you need, sort of D&T specs about sort of different materials you're using, as well as exactly how everything's going together.
I heard about this, but I didn't know they were going to do it.
Well, they might not. I think there's just something in the pipe works.
Oh, it'll be well cool if they do.
Yeah.
Like I saw the presentation on that. It was crazy. Like wow, like it's super.
It shows how we're trying to move forward in the times.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I want to do that as well. Yeah, let's do that.
It would be so useful, wouldn't it?
I want some holograms.
Yeah.
Burgess Hill have got holograms, and I want some.
We have a hologram.
Have we?
We have an iPad. Yeah, we have this iPad, right? And it's like an Edwards app, and you scan like a QR code, and then it like creates a hologram on the iPad of a pump in front of you, and you can like blow it out and like start it and stop it. Have I not shown you?
The Burgess Hill site has a variation of that.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the Burgess Hill one.
I don't think have I seen the Burgess Hill one? I think that it's probably the same. I think
it might be the same.
Yeah. But yeah, we have one. I'll show you when I'm in the office.
The peak of technology, after all.
Well, we've got a 3D printer now as well, haven't we?
Really?
Where's that?
Yeah,
yeah,
I've been
upstairs,
forced to
bro.
get my hands on that.
Can
Where?
you just use that?
Oh, well, I think you have
No,
to
you have
check
to book
with
it
a
in.
team. I'm not sure
Yeah.
what team.
Oh,
Ask them to get one for your department.
Could do.
That's
Got to be
Okay.
designed in some way, I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
I think it'd be a push trying to justify one of those for software.
Easy, you can visualize it better.
Yeah.
It's fun.
The code.
All our
visualize-
databases are in 3D now.
Yeah.
At the minute, us apprentices, like the first year, we're doing our rotations, obviously. So I haven't really settled yet. For the first year, we kind of just go around each department and find what we like best. So I'm only on my second rotation now, but you know, I've already said that Tess was better. So, but
I'm in the process of moving on, so.
yeah, we'll go on to different places, and then we can decide where we settle. Which once again just proves its flexibility, really, because it's kind of down to us where we specialise, and that's not set in stone either. As Joe and Charlie were saying earlier, they might choose to do a switch later on, which is, you know, always nice for a change of scenery.
Well, I mean, if I join software, I'll be going down, won't I? So Charlie will be my boss.
Really?
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. Anyway, I'd love to have Charlie as a boss.
When you get your mentor, it'll be Charlie.
Yeah. That'd be great.
There's no reason why it wouldn't be, to be honest.
Give me a cup of tea.
Oh, no, but yeah, I'm definitely interested in moving into software in the future at some point.
Nice.
No, I love that ability just to be able to move around, because you just get the opportunity to learn every aspect of what the company's about before you end up sort of deciding where you're going as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in test they told me about the training for one of the test systems. You go to Hungary for 2 weeks. Hell yes.
Actually,
Hell yes. I want to do that.
Andy Mack did it in California, apparently.
What? Oh my god, that's even better.
He said he went to this amazing hotel, all paid for. It was him and his
I'm
wife that
asking
went.
for the California one, mate.
So yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good. Although my surname is Hungarian, so I mean I've never been to Hungary, so I should kind of go.
Gotta go. You gotta.
Yeah, that's
How
it.
are
Yeah.
you Hungarian? Like grandparents, great grandparents?
It is my grandparent, my granddad's
Really?
Hungarian.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So one pair of my
Diversity.
grandparents are Hungarian and Irish, and then my other grandparents are English and Irish.
Okay, fair enough.
No, but seriously, we are a very diverse company, aren't we? To be honest.
Yeah.
You don't think we are?
I don't know. I mean, female
The
and
point we're trying to work on.
Yeah.
it's not too. It could be worse. And to be fair, it's not full of people that are like really like, you know, bigoted. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though it's not that diverse,
Yeah.
it's not like I have to feel like, you know.
It's diverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's still
Yeah,
it's a really good environment anyway.
And we're definitely getting there.
Yeah.
It's like, although they weren't so diverse in the past, it's like you can't change that, can you? They're not going to sack people to make it more diverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's only dependent on these new people coming in, isn't it? Yeah.
And the intake, like this year, we took on a lot of female graduates, didn't we? And
Yeah, no, but I think it's definitely something that Edwards are working towards. Like, it's in our goals and objectives. So, like, it's not really a problem because I think we're going to get there in the future.
and our goals and objectives, we live by them, don't we?
Yeah, literally.
Like,
Yeah.
everything we do is
Like,
aimed towards those goals and objectives, and if we don't meet them, it's
they'll be held to pay.
It is a big deal.
But
Yeah.
but that is not a bad thing at all, because it means we're always progressing, and you know you always want to be first in mind. What is it? First in thought, first in mind.
Femfic.
First
You got to
in
come
choice,
from.
I
How can you
Femfic.
forget Femfic?
First
Yeah,
First in line, first in choice.
That's it.
That's it.
Charlie Coin pick.
Please don't release this. I'm being sacked.
Not even at his probation period yet.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
But that's
You
a
know
good
what
point
my
though. With all those
coach-
sayings and stuff, they do totally push us to be they want us to go big, don't they?
Yeah.
They really want us to be the next president.
Yeah.
That's how I feel anyway in any of our apprenticeship
And I
meetings
really
of
feel
any
like we will
kind.
be as well. We're
Yeah.
shown the ladder, aren't we, all the time, the job ladder, and we're
Yeah.
starting like at the bottom. But you know, we have everything in front of us to be able to climb.
Yeah.
You know, to other countries or just to better job roles, even sideways to get experience to better ourselves in the future. And it's all we're ever told, which is just refreshing to hear, really.
Yeah,
I
and
think
there's
that's another one of our goals, isn't it?
And they want us to be more examples. They want us
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
the person that's from the right at the bottom. They totally want me to do it because I was line operator. They totally want me to be line operator. And
Yeah,
they
you'll
want me
look
to
really
go,
good.
boom. They want me to go right to the top so they
Yeah.
can be like, look, you
Sit
can
next to
come
Ant.
in as line operator and you can end
This is
up
the man
as
you want to be.
the big man
Yeah.
or
I
woman.
think it's great. It really like builds that like I wouldn't go as far to say that Edwards feels like a family, but it towards that where like it doesn't feel like just a job. It feels like people are looking out for me. People want me to succeed.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
my manager's
that's it.
looking out for me. Like, yeah,
Mm.
it's great. I love it. Like people always complain about their jobs, and I always was never looking forward to getting a job, like getting a
Yeah,
job.
what's up with that?
Yeah, but now I'm like, I love this.
It's actually
What?
true. Like, I don't dread coming into work. Like
Exactly.
I have done in the past with other jobs. I'm like, I really can't be bothered. But I wake up in the morning, I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
What I quite
going
like
to
is
work.
the respect you get as well. Although, like starting off as an apprentice, you haven't got sort of any experience realistically. You get the respect as if you're one of everyone else.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it's adopting the cultures as well. I think there's really nice warm sort of culture around it. I know it's quite ambiguous, but there's no blaming people. There's no hounding people for deadlines, and you know it's a lot of understanding there. When you make a mistake, there's no pressure on you to like scramble yourself and fix it. You've got to be honest, and they'll get noted against you, but it's actually a really understanding environment to feel like you can come forward about something you've messed up. And that's personally what I like. That's something that I always had a lot of anxiety about in the workplace. Like working in construction, like mix up a barrel of a wheelbarrow of like concrete really sloppy, and you're like, oh no, who do I tell? It turns into a Chuckle Brothers sketch. You're like adding more sand to it. Well, you know what you're like. You just made the situation worse. Here it's I've come forward and everyone's raising their hand to come and help you, and that's can't put a price on that, I don't think.
Yeah. They invest on the person, don't they, and not what you're doing. It's not what you're doing, but they invest on you as a person.
And it's not only that; it's feedback as well. If you do mess up, you know where and when.
I've done that.
And you don't do it twice, and that's the whole point of being an apprentice. Really, you do mess up, and probably too much for me. I'm working on it.
Oh, don't worry. Honestly, I messed up a lot when I first started as well.
Even now, I still mess up.
Yeah. There's still there's really silly things I still mess up on.
I know, it's so annoying. It's like I should
know.
Won't
be long to do it.
But people just get on with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving forward, I think that pretty much wraps it up. But we're just going to speak about how to get involved, the application process, because we want whoever's listening to this to come and join us.
The audience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that concludes the first episode, the first instalment of Edward's to a degree. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was quite informative. If you have any questions for us to answer, it can be a specific question or, a question for all of us. We do have an email address that we all have access to, which will be on the screen right now. Let me just get it up. askanapprentice@edwardsvacuum.com. There are currently some apprenticeships available at Edwards. In the near future, they'll be up on the government website, so when you're listening to this, hopefully they will be there. So just search. I can, hopefully put it on the screen in front of me as well. So yeah, and keep an eye on our social media for any further episodes. I think the next episode that we're doing will be about working abroad. It's a big opportunity within the Edwards company, because there's places all over the world that you can apply to within the internal job market. So hopefully look out for that one. And if you ever want to jump on a podcast, just give us an email on askanapprentice@edwardsvacuum.com. If you have any questions to ask us there, please do. So yeah, hopefully see you next time. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.
See ya.
Thank you.